Hello, hello. Welcome to Ram and Goat Astrology. I'm Laura Lee.
And I am Helena. Welcome back to another episode.
Hello, we're back. We're back. If you guys are watching on YouTube, if you're not watching on YouTube, you should go and watch on YouTube because you can see Helena's little baby bump happening.
Yeah,
How far are you now?
31 weeks.
You getting there.
Yeah, I'm starting to really notice it. Like, yeah, today at work I had to re like you know, rest several times because I was feeling fainty and I was like, ah, because I didn't
Yeah.
eat properly, I think. And
Yeah, eating becomes a full-time job.
yeah,
Eating is a full-time job and it's quite
yeah.
challenging. Where is your Ceres? Do you know where your planet Ceres is?
Um,
I'll have to go
not
check. Hang on. Because
top. Yeah,
Ceres,
you're much faster than me. Yeah.
for those of you that don't know, Ceres is the asteroid. She's actually a dwarf planet, and she's the same size as Pluto, if anyone wants to know that. And she is the planet we look to for how you eat or need to eat, and or how you nourish yourself.
I feel
And
like
it
mine's in Aries. Is it
yours is in Aries at 1 degree,
first house?
41 minutes Aries in the first house. Yeah. So you have to eat little bits all the time like you're a toddler.
Mm,
So actually having a baby for you will be great because as often as the baby eats is when you should eat.
yeah.
You need a lot of little snacks
I
for real.
like it.
Doesn't that help you though to go, oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
it's not that
Absolutely.
you can't have a big meal. It's not that that's not something you can do, but typically for nourishment on a regular basis, you do better with smaller doses of food more often. And because it's Aries, I would think fast, warm food, something like a
Mm,
quick bowl of soup or a quick, just something like a cup of tea, right? Something warm and nourishing. But
like a boiled egg.
yeah, hard boiled egg, absolutely. Yeah. Or even like if you want an apple, like I personally would be like, I'd probably cut up two apples and put some cinnamon on and like cook them for a couple minutes, right? So
Mm.
that there's like warmth. Because every time I see Aries,
Yeah.
it's like you need it warm.
Yeah, that's a tricky one because I know that warm foods and cooked foods are so much easier to digest and probably better for me, but there's just something about like crispy apples. I eat them all the time
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
other things that are just like raw things. The crispiness.
Interesting. I mean, 1 degree Aries is such a unique placement for your how you nourish yourself because it's the end of the a zodiac cycle and literally starting a brand new one, right? That
Yeah.
Aries placement is brand new. So it's almost like in this lifetime you're learning how to eat all over again. Like you're learning
Hmm.
a whole new system of eating and a whole new way of nourishing yourself in this lifetime.
Interesting. And that, like, nourishing myself, that would be not only food,
Right.
right? Like, that would
Right.
be
You're
how I,
energetic.
yeah, like how that makes sense because I do like to do things uh like I'm not like s slow and steady wins the race.
Hmm.
That's not
Yeah.
me. I
Yeah.
do it in spurts and then rest for a little bit and then I do another spurt.
Well, and
Like I have spurts of energy.
exactly, that makes sense. And if you think about it, it's very self-focused nurturing and more independent, right? It's not necessarily how other people do it, or like if your partner needs to nourish themselves that way or feed themselves that way, that's cool. That's not what you need, right? Aries is
Mm,
me. My needs are different than yours.
yeah.
So, like, you could have been a kid where like your parents would have made a meal or your mom would have made a meal, and then you'd have been like, "Oh, I don't want that." Right? That
Mm.
like thank you, but I don't want that. That doesn't work for me. And so you probably were maybe a little bit like frustrating as as a little kid. You probably didn't eat anything
Maybe.
your parents
I
made.
don't remember. I feel like I was sort of picky, but not like so picky that it would be like, for example, my partner, he is still picky. He was such a picky child, like with
Mhm.
food, like you have to separate the food and oh, like
Well, he has like
eat
six
very few things.
planets in Taurus, right?
Yeah.
So that's a sensory issue there. It's a tactile, it's a
Absolutely.
smell,
Yeah.
it's a the texture, it's the mixing of the
Yeah.
flavors. That's a Taurus thing.
You know what? That makes sense with the Aries thing and small meals for me because what I do remember about being a kid is that I would never finish a meal,
Oh
and I
yeah,
would feel
no.
like that always got me in trouble because I never could finish it,
No. I would be
and then they would
shocked
be
if
like,
you would
"Oh,
finish a
finish your
meal.
food." Yeah.
No. Well, and think about this too. This is a placement that would really drive the need for like immediate action in self-care, right? Like you at work the other day, you just said I was not feeling good at work today because
Today.
I
Yeah.
didn't eat. So you needed immediate action in self-care.
Mm.
And your body was like, if you're not giving it to me, I'm gonna pass out. Like
Yeah. No,
this is
very, very like that. It happens fast. That's so true. It happens very fast in my body has always been very quick to respond.
yeah. Yeah. Well, of course, and then Ceres is at 1 degree in your chart, and Mars is at 5 degrees, which is the planet that rules your muscles
Yeah.
and action and energetics. It's like when you run out of fuel, you are out of fuel. Like there's nothing in the reserve tank.
Oh yeah,
It's
and it's in
empty.
the first house as well.
Yeah. So everything just burns out really quickly. It's like when the log is used up and the fire is just like, I'm out.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's very true.
I love learning about Ceres and diving into her. I've been struggling with Gertie, who is my 14-year-old. She has Ceres in Pisces in the 12th house. And I'm like,
Oh, okay.
oh, and we're having really big ongoing issues with her not being
Mm,
able to feed herself. And I don't know what to tell them because, or my family or her, because I have Ceres in Scorpio in the 6th house. And I feel like we have equal and opposite issues, but they're the same issue where we don't feed
yeah,
ourselves. Like we
yeah,
don't
yeah.
take care of ourselves. It's just not a thing. So it's almost like we
Like,
can disassociate from our bodily needs.
yeah, and then and then like not feeling, yeah, that the body is actually like, hey, hey, feed me.
Exactly.
And then you're just
Exactly.
like la da 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 da, like in the 12th house dreamy world, and then I guess and then obviously at some point the physical body will suffer.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
100%. So it's been
So you
really
have to
interesting.
be reminded to eat.
And literally given food. Like,
Yeah,
even if we're reminded to eat, if her and I have pushed past a point of, like, there's like a magical point in the like, you need to eat scale. And if
yeah,
we've gone past the magical point, then it's like we absolutely can't even make ourselves food because then we get into like this weird mental state where like nothing sounds good, nothing looks good, and we just can't think and we shut down and we'll just like
yeah.
crumple. I'm not even kidding. We'll crumple into a physical ball on the floor due to not being able to feed ourselves. And I
Mm.
know this sounds insane to people who have really strong Taurus placements or who have no problem eating. Like, I get this. But it's a weird, like, kind of for her, it's like an unconscious thing. And for me, it's like a weird power struggle thing. I don't, it's very
Oh,
strange how it's showing up in both of us, but I don't know how to help her because it's, it's my issue
yeah.
too, just like reincarnated in my kids. So, like,
Yeah. So do you get this thing when you like a little bit when you start feeling it and you're like, well, I'm in control of this. Like I can, almost like uh, yeah, like you thinking that you can take control over your body in that way. Like I can decide
probably,
not
it's
to eat.
probably an unconscious thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's probably this, usually when I'm not eating, it's because I'm in the doing and I'm working.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm usually working and doing and working and doing. Like yesterday, I was outside for hours cutting sticks and stuff and just being outside. And I ended up just knowing I needed to eat. I was like, I have to eat. I have to stop what I'm doing. I have to eat.
Yeah.
And I just kept working. I was like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. And my stomach's growling and I can feel it. And I can feel like I'm getting like lightheaded. And I just keep working. So if that's a
Mm.
power and control thing, yeah.
Like
It
showing
happens.
yourself and like showing others, but maybe no one's watching, but like, you know, because I recognize that a little bit, not in the same, not with food, but with Capricorn stuff about work and stuff, like really pushing yourself to the limit because you're like, you, you're like, I can do this because no one else could probably do this, but I can do it. I'm very strong in this and I can push myself even though it hurts.
Yeah.
It's like, but you don't have to, you don't have to push yourself like that.
Yeah.
But why don't you always keep something around, like in your studio where you have your office,
Yeah.
like to always keep some like crackers or something like
Absolutely.
kind of dry food, just to put something in your mouth because I feel like when once you get that super hungry, it's really hard and your mental activity, your brain shuts down, so you can't think about things to cook. So you just have to grab something and put it in your mouth.
Exactly. And here's the
Yeah.
trick is it has to be a healthy food because if it's a not healthy food, her and I'll eat that too. Like, if it's like
Yeah.
crappy bagels or whatever, like we'll just down whatever
Yeah.
sugar, whatever is around. It's like
Yeah.
our ability to use any kind of discernment of like discerning whether this is a quality food that will feed us well or this is like just a quick sugar. And
Yeah.
it's frustrating. And I just have to say thank God for my husband and my son because they keep us alive. I'm
Mm.
not saying that jokingly. They literally will hand us a sandwich. You've seen it how many times? They literally just come in and bring me a plate of food.
So many times. So
And
many
then
times where your son would just be coming with a plate.
yep.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, "Have you eaten today?" And I'm like, "Nope." And they're like, "Okay, what do you need?" They just know that
The
mama
Earth Boys.
Yep, mama will not take care of herself like that. She'll take care of other shit, right? I'll ADD the house and clean everything for hours, but I will not stop and feed myself.
Yeah.
So Ceres is a really interesting power and control issue in Scorpio, and for my
Mm.
daughter in Pisces in the 12th house, it's almost like obliviousness to the fact that food
Yeah.
is a requirement in this Earth school existence.
Absolutely. Like I can imagine her being like, the body, like she can feel her body feeling some type of way, which is hunger, but
Yeah,
she's like, "Oh no, I don't think that's it."
yeah. Yeah. And if she's in any kind of new scenario or at a gathering or a function where there's any kind of anxiety at all, she just won't, right? Her body
Mm.
just won't even let her get into eating at
Hmm.
all. So Ceres is a real interesting one. I've been really diving deeper into that planet lately, into that asteroid to learn more because it's been affecting my life so profoundly.
Uh, one of my new favorite snacks, which it could be very, very could work well for you next to the
Tell me.
computer. Graham cracker, peanut butter, slice of fresh apple on top.
Oh, oh, that sounds so good.
Yeah,
Because
and
the
then you can
apple's
go
juicy and sweet and it goes in
and
the
crunchy.
hmm
No, it's the perfect mix. And then you can choose if you want like a tart apple
Yeah.
or like is it called tart?
Yeah.
Sour? Yeah,
Yeah, tart
or
sour.
like a more sweet apple. It's really, really good.
You've been digging that lately, huh?
Yeah.
Good. Good. I did a lot of apples and peanut butter when I was pregnant, a lot of hard-boiled eggs, a
Yeah.
lot of celery and peanut butter and raisins, like what anything I could do to get protein
Yeah.
in me.
Yeah.
It's a job.
The
But
protein
now
hunt.
we have a job to work on with Aries energy.
We do.
We've got
We
a
do.
lot of stuff going on in Aries. It's a giant stellium. I've been kind of waiting for this stellium to show up for a while. I've been knowing this was coming. And we've got
Hmm.
Chiron at 26 degrees. The sun is getting close to Chiron. Today, when we're recording, it's 23 degrees. So we've got a conjunction in the sky where the sun is highlighting our collective wound, which is
Yeah.
super interesting when you put that in the sign of Aries because it's the
Mm.
I am and my needs.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like the wound around I guess individuality and standing up for something.
Standing up for some. Yeah,
Yeah.
the collective wound in Aries is just such an interesting one. And when the sun highlights it, we all get to kind of deal with that self driving energy, that the wound of like, I want to do this thing because I want to do it and I don't want to have to ask permission.
Mm.
But the wound is like, ooh, can I do it? Should I do it? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, like I also feel like individuality and standing up for yourself, like being
Yeah.
being brave enough to carry a torch and like move ahead where no one else has been. That sounded
Absolutely.
dramatic, but that can happen in the smallest ways as well. But yeah, so the sun is highlighting all of that. So that's gonna feel uncomfortable.
Yep. There-
When is that conjunction?
I want to say it's the 15th or 6th, 15th and 16th, I think is when the actual conjunction is of April.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, makes sense.
It's coming
Makes
up.
sense.
Then we've got our friend Saturn. He's now at 7 degrees. I'm a little bit apprehensive because my sun sign's at 8. So here we go. Once in a 30-year transit is about to hit. And I'm like, okay, I have to put on my big girl pants because we're trying to figure out like how do we go about moving out of our house into my parents, tearing down our house, designing and building a new one, getting all the
Hmm.
approved governmental stuff and all the permits and all the money. And boy, that sure feels like Saturn on my sun sign, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Like you as an individual have to grow
Yeah.
up and
Yeah,
mature.
absolutely. It is time to do that. So
And
I'm,
also that your son, your vitality will maybe probably be challenged because it will be a lot to do. So you might feel, extra tired
yep,
and
yep.
restricted. Maybe you're not getting those walks in that you wanted to get and stuff like that.
Health issues have been showing up. Saturn rules the bones, just so everybody knows who's listening. And I am having some teeth stuff develop.
Oh, that's typical Saturn, yeah.
Right? I'm having heat and inflammation in one of my teeth.
Oh,
It's like, oh, you are like how literal sometimes astrology is just ridiculous.
it
It's
is.
sometimes stupidly literal. I mean, the last time I
Yeah.
was pregnant, Jupiter was on my sun sign, and then 12 years before that, I was pregnant and Jupiter was on my sun sign. So like I hope
Wow.
12 years from now I am not pregnant. If I am, I'm gonna be real mad. So the
Well, we shall see.
last two Jupiter on my sun sign cycles, I was actively pregnant and
Yeah,
hugely, which is the most literal translation you could have of Jupiter on your sun sign. And so
absolutely.
I would like to have that show up differently 12 years from now. So,
Yeah. Let's see how it shows up.
right? Right. So we've got Saturn in Aries. Mars, our good friend Mars, just moved into Aries. He's at 3 degrees now, conjunct with Neptune as we're talking about this. So we chatted about that a little bit the last time. But again, the driver has to use caution because he's literally driving through the fog right now. The
Mm.
frequency of Neptune is traveling to Earth, and Mars is right there. So Neptune's frequency is slamming into the planet of Mars prior to it getting to Earth.
Yeah,
Neptune's vibe going over the top of Mars's vibe, kind of engulfing it, and then coming to Earth. So if you have any children in your life being born right now, these are kids who are not going to know where they're driving at all ever. They're going to be confused as to what their drive is unless it's focused on spirituality, musicality, artistry, right? There's like some sense of intuitiveness with their drive, but that's what we have to tune into right now is our intuition. We have to listen. We have to take some time, which is
yeah,
not Aries' strong suit at all. So I kind of feel for all the kiddos being born right now with Sun conjunct Chiron and Mars conjunct Neptune right next to Saturn. These are kids who are going to want to they were going to want to go, but they're going to have a wound of going and a hesitation to go, but they need to go. And then they've got karmic lessons around going. So this is a really interesting group of kids being born right now during this
yeah.
Aries transit stuff.
Yeah, but I also see that, when the baby's born with Mars so close to Neptune, like yeah, that definitely like an unclear vision of where you're going. But always with Neptune, what happens is that you don't see so clearly, so all of your other senses
Get
are
heightened.
much more heightened. And
Yep,
because this is Mars, this is the body also, I
yep.
feel like these people will be, yeah, very intuitive and very uh muscularly, like physically
Yeah,
intuitive. And with Saturn there as well, like yeah, absolutely Saturn is Saturn. We all have this like hate-love relationship with Saturn.
Right.
Um, but Saturn there as well tells me then that these kids will have, there's this really, of course, there's a reason behind this construction over here, this Saturn, Mars, and Neptune, and
Yep.
being born with this. Like, yes, they are supposed to learn how to really use that energy and to
I
use
can,
it in an amazing way. So I feel like, well, they might be hyper intuitive.
I
Maybe
was
they
just
will be
gonna say,
healers, you
I
know?
could see them being magical healers with their body, like
Mm.
Reiki energy, right? Which is using
Yeah,
Reiki to transfer energy, which is Mars, Neptune. I could see these kids being incredibly musically gifted, where they're like prodigy type children, right? Their
yeah.
hands and body just plays the instrument, and it's like their mind
Mm.
doesn't even have to like do anything, right? And then of course Saturn, that's their karmic work is to allow the flow to happen without the
Yeah.
so I could see that, or even artists in any capacity, any kind of artistry, right? It's like their body will just do the movement and
Mm.
it'll just pour out of them without even having to think much. It feels very inspired and very
Mm.
intuitively driven, where there's not a lot of thinking involved. There's just feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting kids born during this week for sure.
Very. And to add to that stellium, tomorrow on the 14th of April, we have Mercury also join Aries.
Yep, we do.
And today on the 13th of April, Mercury is at 27 degrees. So yeah, in not too long, Mercury and the way we process information and communicate will also be in Aries. And I really today when I was at work, I thought because I saw someone post something about Mercury being in Aries, I'm like, oh, already okay. And then I was like, but why is everything so confusing? Because at work, things have been really confusing today. And now it's like, oh, it makes sense. Late degrees, Pisces, still there, like finishing up the business of being a little like
Aloof.
confused, like aloof. And we're just not meant to, things are not always meant to go in a straight line forward. And like today.
Are they asked
Uh,
to go in a straight line? Is that a thing?
sometimes, like I think so. Sometimes things just really are so clear and they work, and you can move like several chapters ahead, and then sometimes you have to reread the same chapter over and over, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And rereading the chapter, it's been today, and starting tomorrow is gonna be like, okay, full steam ahead.
Full
So
steam ahead.
yeah, that's a big stellium in Aries.
It is, but
Like,
then it's full steam ahead, but not really, because again, Mercury walks into Aries and there's Neptune. So it's like the
forgot
confusion
about that.
doesn't just stop. It doesn't just clear up like normally, right? We walk into Aries and we're like, oh, that we're greeted by this giant mystical cloud.
Yeah, we should all just be trying to, like receive the message, not to think that we're gonna find the message, but
Right.
like to sit back and receive it with Neptune. Because Neptune and Mercury together, that's amazing. You can maybe find some great answers to things you've been thinking about for a long time, and uh, finding those answers within or
Yeah.
without from the universe. But um yeah, when you're at a job where things need to move forward, then maybe that's not
It's
as easy
a little
always.
trickier.
But as long as you like, yeah, go with your intuition. That's the only thing you can do.
I just taught a class yesterday with my friend Tammy, who does human design, and she was going through all the different human design parts, and she was talking about having an open heart center, a closed spleen center, and things like that. And human design is still a language that feels like a foreign language to me, right? It's still a very different
Same.
dialect, different energies. And so I'm listening and I'm learning and I'm following what she's saying. But one of the things she said that stuck with me was don't ever make decisions with your logical mind for anybody.
Yeah.
She's like, that's
Yeah.
not what we're supposed to make decisions with. And I thought that was such an interesting comment because it's pretty
Mm.
accurate. that when we make decisions from our logical mind, it can get us into it can keep us in repeated patterns, right? It can keep us on this logical trajectory because typically if we need to follow our heart or follow our intuition, that's not logic.
Yeah.
Our
I
heart
saw
and
I
our
saw
intuition are not logical.
that makes so much sense. And I saw this I saw something on Instagram the other day about like thousands of years ago, or maybe 500 years ago, in Persia, they have this saying that, you never make a decision just like that. First, or like come up with an idea or a solution. First, you talk about it being drunk. And then if you still think and like that's if you think it's a good idea, and then you talk about it again being sober, and if it's still a good idea, then you do it. Because when you're drunk or you're in altered state or whatever, maybe you will be more creatively free in your
I love
mind.
that.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so you have these two times when you will think about the same thing, like one being just sober thinking logically, and one being more in altered state, having more access to your like creative side.
I really like that, but that's ultimately what Tammy was saying was like, don't make decisions based on your logical mind. You got to feel it.
Yeah,
You got to intuit it. You got to
yeah,
get down into your body because the logical part will keep you stuck on the same track. It'll keep you stuck in the same pattern because that's what it's meant to do. It's meant to be logical.
yeah, yeah,
So I love when Mercury kind of gets into connection with Pisces because we start to feel and sense our intelligence and intellectual pursuits, which
yeah,
my Mercury's in Pisces natally at 25. So I feel like this is my normal. But then when
yeah,
Mercury moves into Aries and meets up with Neptune, now we can take action on those inspired ideas. We can feel them out as we're doing them. And maybe it
yeah,
is the right thing to do, but maybe it's not the right action to take, or maybe we take a action from a different angle, which is what we've been trying to figure out with our house situation. And, do we get a modular house? Do we build something new? Do we build it in the barn? Do we build it here? Like what we're trying to figure out the action while
yeah,
we're like feeling out the logic, right? We're taking the
yeah.
logical steps of like, okay, let's go with this plan. If we did this
Mm,
and went with plan A, what does that feel like? Okay, now let's
yeah.
pick up. Now let's look at plan B. Let's go that way. Let's play that out and feel it. And we've been doing that a lot. Is like, what does that feel like to you? And it's a really interesting
Mm.
conversation to plan out your house and house building, but through
I
feelings.
like it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like putting yourself there in the emotion. Like, how would you feel if your bedroom window was facing that way?
That's exactly what we're doing right now. So the old
Yeah,
ones had the bedroom windows on the north. Now we switched it to the south. We're actually doing that, and it feels like it fits these transits so perfectly right now. Of take action, but wait. Take action, but feel. Hold on,
yeah,
sense it. Don't lock anything in yet. Wait
yeah.
till Mars gets over to Saturn, then you can lock something in.
Feel it in.
It's just wait a minute. But our good friend Mercury has been trekking through Pisces for a while with that retrograde cycle. So I'm excited
Yeah,
for him to get the heck out of Dodge and move on to a new energy. Because when Mercury
yeah,
retrogrades, he ends up staying in that cycle or that zodiac sign significantly longer than normal than what we're used to. And this year, he's retrograding through all the water signs.
Oh,
So we get to feel all the feels while we're thinking and trying to logic.
oh. I like knowing that. So, okay, so you mean for 2026, it will be all through.
Yeah,
Okay.
last year, I believe he retrograded through Earth and Fire. Like he was in Fire and would retrograde back to Earth a little bit, then go back to Fire. So it was
Yeah.
like half and half. I think this year he's only in water signs with his retrograde cycle.
That gives me a really good sense of the clock, sort of like the yearly clock. So I'm like, okay, so end of June, beginning of July, that's where Mercury's gonna start retrograding again. Okay, okay, great.
Yeah. Doesn't that help you a little bit? Like it
It
makes me feel,
does. It does. I see the window.
Yes. Yes. And today we've got, as we're recording, the moon just moved into Pisces. So we've got a really interesting stellium in Pisces with some asteroids, the North Node, Mercury, and then the stellium in Aries. We still have a stellium in Taurus with our friend Ceres, Venus, and Uranus is at 29 degrees Taurus.
Yeah.
So
Oh
close.
my goodness.
So close.
It's very interesting times around like with Taurus, last degrees of Uranus, like the last stretch because Uranus is going back and forth in Taurus as well. And like we've been saying, you know, shaking up the foundation of literally everything in this world. So I am really intrigued to see where it's gonna land. Like what's the last couple of things that's gonna be shaken up
Yeah.
before let's see what date was it that Uranus leaves
It's
Taurus.
soon. It's
Let's
soon. I want to say
see
it's the end of
here.
this month.
25th of April. Yeah, next week.
Yep. So Uranus is going to settle into Gemini
Oh
until
no, 2 weeks. I'm not so good at counting. Yeah.
that's okay. Until 2032.
Yeah,
2032.
wow.
So this
A
is a
whole new
big,
cycle.
yep, for the next several years. So this is the planet of freedom and rebellion and revolution. And then when it's in the sign of the twins or duality, we're going to see people, really splitting into sides. You're going to have the good and the bad, the black and the white. That's what you're going to start to see. And what we have to remember is that we're actually all on the same planet and we
Mm.
all have to be on the same team when it comes to that.
Mm.
I think that's going to be really interesting as we see lots of AI stuff and internet is going to change. We're going to be like
Yeah.
an evolution of the internet.
Yeah, I
It's
was gonna say, yeah.
big, big ideas, big minds, big I see a lot of cleanup of the world. I see a lot of like plastic cleanup. I see people doing textile cleanup. Like I see cleanup happening in new
Mm.
ways as well. So that would be viewing things from different points of view, right? We used to view
Yeah.
fast in this way and the fashion industry. And now we're like, actually, let's view it from this point of view and all the garbage it's creating, right? So
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of shifting of mindsets in the next couple years, especially with Pluto and Aquarius, especially.
Yeah. And Gemini is very intellectually driven
Mhm.
as well. So yeah, absolutely. Like uh, very like lots of new ideas, and with Uranus, they will be very innovative.
Yeah.
And like I'm pretty sure like right after the 25th, just that last stretch of this month, April, we're gonna already see a lot of news around AI. I'm pretty
Um,
sure.
it's huge. It's huge. I just saw this morning that in India, this is fascinating to me, and I think this is
Mm,
totally Pluto and Aquarius, okay? In India, this town voted no to an AI data center. And they were like, nope, we don't want this. They held a vote. Everybody was no. And then the government said, screw it. I mean, we're going to put the AI data center in anyway. So everybody voted no. The government went and put it in, or whoever went and put it in anyway. And the people burned it to the ground.
whoa.
It was like, hell yeah.
Yeah,
That is Pluto and Aquarius doing exactly what it's supposed to do, power to the people and
mm,
decentralizing power in the government and people taking action, people doing things. And
yeah.
another one, I was taking a shower this morning and I was just listening to a couple like different reels and stuff to kind of keep me informed of what's going on. And there was a guy that was talking about a livable wage and how in America we don't have livable wages. Okay. So Philip went and just did an interview at a local place and they wanted to hire him for $14 an hour. Just for perspective, in order to like live,
That sounds very little.
it's very, very little. In order to live and just pay bills, you need like a minimum of like 20 to 25 an hour. So like we're not nobody's getting livable wages for part-time jobs, anything like that. And so this reel was really interesting because it was talking about how the term livable wage actually needs to be turned around and it's not it's like people who are working in like Amazon warehouses that said, no, it's not about our livable wage and you paying us enough to live. It's about you paying us enough so that we don't burn down your institution and your business and like take you out. And I was like,
I
oh,
like that.
oh, it's how much do you need to pay us so you stay alive? And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
holy Pluto Aquarius, Batman. That one just like, yes, this is the
That is talk about like taking the power back.
yeah. I'm so here for that shit. That is exactly what Pluto and Aquarius, and he's only at what, 5 degrees now?
Yeah,
So, I mean, he's still pretty new in the Aquarius.
very,
So,
very.
I'm excited for this one. Because he's going to be there for like 22 more years. So, we got a while for people to take the power back.
Wow.
I'm here for this. I'm here for
Oh
this.
my goodness.
Such interesting
Yeah,
times right now, isn't it?
it's very interesting times. These are interesting times.
What
But
advice would someone who's looking, who's just like dealing with some struggles right now with the Pisces and Aries and Taurus vibes and just struggling with these, what advice would you give to people right now?
well, I feel like with so much Aries energy, our bodies are triggered because Aries is our body as well. And there is like Aries is also, fast activity, like a lot of activity. So I feel that we are very stimulated and we need to ground down and like not get stuck in this fast thing that's turning so fast. Like things might be turning fast, but you don't need to be inside of this loop that's like just going around so fast. You can be
Yeah.
watching it and seeing like, wow, things are moving fast. What decisions do I make? Um, you don't
But
need to
finding ways to
be
control that better inside of you.
exactly and to ground and to breathe. I feel like we're always saying this, like breathe, as if
Yeah.
people are not breathing, but you can
Oh.
breathe some more. You can,
And it's
just
free.
and it's free. It's great advice because it's free. And just be mindful. Don't get stuck in the because it's very easy to be just very reactive during Aries season as well.
Oh, yes.
Like try and step away from reactivity if you can and just have a moment to think about things before you take action, before you make any decisions, before you respond to someone about big changes or
Yep.
ideas. Yeah,
And
mull it over.
I would say with Mars and Saturn and the Sun all in Aries, I think exercise is a great way to ground. But of course, with Saturn, it's more like controlled exercise and, walking,
Yeah,
consistent kind of exercise, right? Stuff you can
yeah,
build on over long term. So maybe a 10-minute walk is all you can do today. Well, cool, that's better than
yeah,
right? Then tomorrow, can you do a 12-minute walk or a 15-minute walk, right? Slow,
absolutely.
steady building up of the exercise is a great grounding practice with Aries energy.
Yeah. And also to remember that even if you're really, taking this advice and you're working on, and you can see where you want to be reactive, but then you pull yourself back and like, oh, I'm going to think about this. Others might not. So other people around you might be very reactive and just give them the grace of like, well, let's see. They might come back and say, I'm sorry in 24 hours, like, or they might change their mind. Like, let them, there's nothing you can do. If someone's being super reactive, there's not much you can do in that situation except for just to be like, okay, let's have a think about it. Because if you tell someone to calm down, they're
That
not going
doesn't
to calm
work.
down.
Nope,
No,
no.
that
My
thing doesn't work.
my husband tried telling our 5-year-old that the other day. I was like, honey, that's never going to go over well with any woman ever. So maybe just eliminate that from your
Historically, that has never worked.
never worked. No, my little Aries man turned 3 this weekend.
Oh, that's right.
And telling him to do anything has been a joke and a half. He just thinks it's hilarious and says no and
Yeah,
does anything else.
yeah,
But he is very reactive lately. Like, am I
yeah,
like, what's going on? I was like, it's Aries season. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. That's it. He's got 3 planets in Aries natally, and it's Aries season with a whole bunch of planets. Like, he's just really lit up. And he's 3.
yeah,
So he's a 3-year-old Aries boy.
yeah.
and it's Aries season. So like this is
Just open the door and let him set him free.
for his birthday. I took him to the Children's Museum and it was perfect because it's a contained area where he could just be insane and go do whatever.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
perfect. It was
yeah,
perfect. So it's like a general container, but otherwise just complete freedom for him to do what he wanted. So
yeah,
anybody who's got Aries in your life, just be gentle with them right now because they may be a little bit more reactive than they normally want to be or are, and they don't necessarily mean to be rude, but it might come out that way.
yeah. It's very true.
So just say, okay, cool. I'm gonna come back when you're not so spicy.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm. All right. Well, thank you for listening to us today, everybody. We appreciate you tuning in and joining us for these little chit chat and transit conversations. And we'll be back next time. We'll have an interview next time. We were going to have it this time, but we're going to do it next time. So,
yeah.
everybody,
See you later.
bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you for joining us this week. Be sure to like and support the show by sharing with a friend or joining us on Patreon. And you can buy us a tea or coffee and financially support us. Thank you so much. It's so appreciated.